In whatever field you're in, it always feels good to be acknowledged. But when it comes to art, entertainment in general, everything is subjective. So why are award shows so important? When award show nominations come around, it's always exciting to see who gets nominated and who gets snubbed. As actors, directors, music artists, producers, songwriters, screenwriters, etc., these award shows are important to us because they're the highest achievements. They change your career. Whether you win or not, the title gets added to your name in your forthcoming work. Emmy nominated, Grammy award winning. It's like winning the NBA championship, the World Series, the Super Bowl for these talented acts. It marks your place in history, in your field of work, and in pop culture. It helps for future opportunities, and it helps financially. A lot of times with award shows, when we see certain people nominated and others who aren't, we look at these award ceremonies kind of funny. We ask ourselves, are they upholding a fair criteria? 700 movies could release in a year. 100 of these movies could be critically acclaimed. Based on our enjoyment of a movie, us fans can only hope and wish that the actors, directors, and screenwriters we enjoyed during the year will get nominated for their work. But when it comes to nominations, there's only a few slots. There will always be movies that we expect to get nominated and they're deserving of it. And there's the movies that get surprise nominations. And then there's the movies that get snubbed. Although everybody can get nominated or win, these nominations are based on facts, opinions, and politics. Politics, you say? Yeah, you have to do things to be considered for an award. Have you ever seen for your consideration on a movie poster, billboard, magazine, internet ad? Movie studios and actors campaign to make personal connections with voters. So when it's voting time, those voters will remember that relationship. Is that right? Voting on something because you have a personal relationship with someone connected to the project rather than choosing the most deserving work in a category?
I don't think that people generally realize what the motion picture industry has done to the American Indian. As a matter of fact, all ethnic groups, all minorities, all non-whites. And people just simply don't realize, they just took it for granted that that's the way people are going to be presented, and these cliches were just going to be perpetuated.
The Oscars are so white, and probably will be for a while until the Academy works on doing better. A thing that's always been alarming is that black actors will win awards for stereotype roles. It's the slave, the maid, and the thug characters. And very rarely do black actors win for portraying a character that's powerful, shown in a good light. Denzel won 2 for being a slave and a crooked cop. Lupita won for being a slave. Octavia won for being a maid. Why is this the case? In the history of the ceremony, Latinos, Asians, and other people of color have come up shorter as far as opportunities. Out of the 336 statues, to this date, only 32 Oscars have been awarded to people of color. For a long time, most of the people who got nominated were white. There was a bias. It was like black artists or any other people of color didn't exist in these fields. The Oscars So White campaign happened and they had to change things up real quick, or pretend to change. Oscars So White happened in 2015. Since then, there was still little to no improvement, but the 2021 Oscar nominations actually made history as far as being diverse. Let's see who will actually win though. When the 2021 Golden Globe nominations were announced, these were the women who got nominated. Golden Globes, So White. Michaela Coel's I May Destroy You was disrespectfully snubbed. This is a show that was critically acclaimed and raved by the fans online. How does this show not receive nominations compared to a show like Emily in Paris? Emily in Paris, which was mocked by critics. And as much as Cole did as a creator, actor, writer, and co-director, tackling sexual assault, race, and trauma. Her show was innovative, while some of the other shows that got nominated were formulaic. I May Destroy You is the type of show award ceremonies should be awarding and celebrating. It has to be a racism thing, right? In 2020, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's British just like Cole, took home many awards for Fleabag. She was another creator who had her hand in several things for her series. What's even worse, the movie Promising Young Woman is a sexual assault story, just like I May Destroy You. Promising Young Woman got 4 Golden Globe nominations. I think award shows are out of touch. It was later reported that the HFPA, the group that gives out the Golden Globes, has no black members and only a few other people of color. After backlash, the HFPA promised to add 13 black members, a very small number to an already white majority membership. Phife Dawg, rest in peace, from A Tribe Called Quest, famously rapped, "I never let a statue tell me how nice I am." This was Phife, referring to the MTV Music Video Awards and the Grammys. And as prestigious as the Grammys are, they consistently get things wrong. For starters, they love to give artists a big number of nominations, only for them to walk away with very little awards or none at all. I would think if someone was nominated for a bunch of awards, they would at least get half of them. The Grammys would invite black artists to perform to get big viewership, and most Grammy performers usually end up winning something. But when it comes to winning the big awards, like Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, artists from other genres get to win those big awards while the black artists get to win the minor awards. In 1989, the Grammys finally created a rap category, over a decade after the genre was created and dominated America. The only thing is, the award show didn't televise the category, so a whole bunch of hip-hop acts boycotted the show, including Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Public Enemy, Salt and Pepper, and LL Cool J. For some reason, the Grammys won't award a rap album Album of the Year. Sure, Lauryn Hill and Outkast are the only rap acts that have won the biggest title, but both of those projects aren't pure, top to bottom rap albums. Lauryn's album is more R&B than rap, and I truly believe that the success of Hey Ya and Andre 3000's The Love Below sealed the deal for Outkast to win Album of the Year. If Outkast came out with just Speaker Box minus The Love Below, they wouldn't have won that Grammy. Eminem and Kanye West both lost the Album of the Year during years when they were the biggest things in music. 50 Cent famously lost the 2004 Best New Artist Grammy to Evanescence when he had the best-selling album of any artist that year. Even Beyonce, who has been nominated for Album of the Year plenty of times, has never won. She has lost to Taylor Swift, Beck, and Adele. Is it a fact that each of these albums were better than Beyonce's in each of those years? When Beyonce's Lemonade dropped, it was a cultural moment. Why didn't she win? Did it have to do with race? It couldn't be that she didn't have personal relationships with voters, right? Beyonce is one of the biggest artists in the world. It's things like this that made Kanye West infamously interrupt Taylor Swift to speak up for Beyonce, having the greatest video of all time with Single Ladies. It was definitely out of line and rude for him to ruin Taylor's moment, and it was maybe a huge exaggeration of being the best video of all time. Maybe it was the best that year and in that particular category, but hey, the award was from MTV, the same MTV that wasn't playing black artist music videos in the 80s. Kanye interrupting Taylor was more about how these institutions disrespect black artists. It was nothing personal to Taylor. Even Adele, who won the 2017 Album of the Year against Beyonce, acknowledged that Beyonce should have won. What the F does Beyonce have to do to win the Album of the Year? Adele cried. This past year, Billie Eilish acknowledged that Megan Thee Stallion Savage should have won the Record of the Year instead of her. In 2021, Beyonce made history, becoming the most decorated female artist of all time. But what's wild is she still hasn't won Album of the Year. How does that make sense? That's disrespectful. It's giving racism, and hypocrisy. If you're going to be an institution that awards artists and creatives, you need to be in touch with who's really deserving of these awards. Most recently, despite putting out one of the most successful albums of 2020, The Weeknd was completely shut out of the Grammys. He was given an ultimatum: either perform at the Grammys or the Super Bowl. The Weeknd prioritized the Super Bowl, so the Grammys shut him out completely, snubbed him disrespectfully. Kinda weird when his song Blinding Lights was the most streamed song on Spotify in 2020, and it became the longest running top 5, top 10 record on Billboard's Hot 100. It's totally odd to shut him out with all the success and fanfare online. What the Grammys did was deliberate, and there are issues with the Grammys. Quoting The Weeknd, "If you were like, do you think the Grammys are racist? I think the only real answer is that in the last 61 years of the Grammys, only 10 black artists have won Album of the Year. That's right, since 1959, when the first Album of the Year Grammy was handed out, only 10 black artists have won Album of the Year. Award shows are rigged." A lot of rap legends have no Grammys. After all these years, Nas finally won in 2021. While it was great and way overdue, that win should have went to Freddie Gibbs. When they awarded Nas the best rap album, it was like when Denzel finally won for Training Day, or Leo winning for The Revenant. It was a sympathy statue. It was surprising that the nominees for the best rap album included Nas, Royce da 5'9", Freddie Gibbs, and Jay Electronica, all acts who aren't super mainstream. But it was safe for them to pick Nas as the winner. It was almost like the voters probably picked Nas because he was the only act they recognized. Do we need to feel validated by the Grammys, the Oscars, or any other award shows? These award committees try to validate themselves by engaging with our culture, our talent, and likeness. With all the impact in pop culture that black artists provide, the Grammys look stupid not awarding these artists. And when enough artists stop caring about the Grammys, the ceremony will start to lose its value. These awards don't take away how great a music artist is. If the Oscars, the Golden Globes, or any other award show can't lift up creatives who aren't white, that doesn't take away the greatness of these actors, actresses, directors, artists, etc. We may want to feel validated, but we don't need their validation. Inclusion is not just moral, it's big business. And if these institutions want to survive, they need to change and do better.